Hi everybody, this is Alchemist2 and I'm back again with another book review. This is called The Eye of Mines, and if you're familiar with Hack Sign or Sword Art Online, there's another anime, it's called Log Horizon. Of course I haven't watched it, or Code Lyoko. Then this will be right up your alley, and of course there is a lot of the gaming atmosphere background involved, and it's reminiscent of The Matrix. And there was a story that I wrote called Interaction that's very similar to this tale. Of course, this is entirely different. The main character, Michael, he goes through VertNet thinking that he's like every other person. And interestingly enough, we find out this is not the case. And he learns about this character named Kane, and I'm not going to tell you too much about Kane or Michael because they share quite a few things in common actually, but Kane is entirely different from Michael. And when you come to the realization that Michael does in the book, you think, oh, that's just so wrong and so twisted and so diabolical that you would never even fathom him having to go through such a terrible ordeal, and you wonder how he's ever going to come to kind of peace or serenity or a semblance of who he really is. It's a very existential tale, I do believe. And there's something very Asimovian about this, I think, and it's a cautionary story as well. I won't say why, but if you've read it, then you know what I'm talking about. I haven't read Rule of Thoughts, but Rule of Thoughts is the second and final book in the Eye of Mines series. And it has the same kind of sense of dread and doom and impinging horror. It's psychological. And Dashner does this in such a very resolute and crafty, creative, delightful way, I think. It's that it takes you by surprise, and he's very vivid and visual in how he paints a picture, especially in this virtual world. And there are different games that people play in this virtual world, just like in my story Interaction or in Sword Art Online. In Sword Art Online, the characters, their avatars, they play in a medieval kind of setting, and it's, you know, like World of Warcraft. And yeah, it's just very intriguing. And you think about things today like Oculus, and you wonder, how close are we to making this a reality? And it gives you pause. It really does. And it's one thing that's very disturbing about the book in and of itself. And I do think it is a warning, one that we should all take very seriously, especially those of us who are futurists. I like technology, don't get me wrong. Now, there are certain things I don't want my technology to be capable of. And Asimov, he was really a forerunner in thinking outside the box and not using technology as a crutch. All that entire apocalyptic sort of information that he would share in his books. And I really do think that he was a modern day prophet. And James Dashner may be another prophet as well. Who knows? It's just the things that I was reading when he's talking about this virtual net and the different games and all that and sort of thing. And then finally the whole unexpected twist of fate for the main character. I'm not going to say what that is, because if I do, it'll ruin the entire book. I don't want to do that, but it is by far one of the most unbelievable, incredible, sensational books I've read in a good long time. Now, it's not a long book. It's only 200 some, not including little thoughts here. He has an excerpt from the sequel, but hold that thought. including the About the Author page. It's 311 pages, including the excerpt at the end, and not the shameless plugs. It is 300, let's do 311, 12, 314 there, at least, or 15, give or take a couple here and there. I didn't want to, if you haven't read Rule of Thoughts, I just didn't want to spoil it for anybody. Like I said, mum's the word. As far as books are concerned, this one is definitely a thriller. It's suspenseful, it's shocking, it stands alone on its own as unique and different and rare in the way that Dashner actually perceives the world, especially the virtual world in this particular book. But I'm looking forward to reading Rule of Thoughts in the near future. So, excuse me, when I do that, I'll definitely do a review of it, and I'll tell you if I like the ending or if I absolutely despise the ending. I think he's a marvelous author, and I think he has a lot of talent, and I would love to see this done as a movie series that I highly doubt that it'll ever happen. It'll be kind of spiffy, I think, but lady can dream. That's all I gotta say. So next time I will see you around campus. Ciao tutti!